Hey, what's going on, guys? How's everybody feeling today? This is Jonathan Moore, and I'm here with the man, Rick Stein. And today I'm going to be asking him about tenant evictions and what you should do when you come across a situation where you have to evict a tenant. Maybe it's your first time, maybe you've been through it before. So you're in the process of evicting a tenant now.
I am.
Okay.
I am. And some advice is this, and I don't take my own advice sometimes.
Okay, all right.
Don't wait too long. Don't wait until they're behind 3 or 4 months. They'll never catch up.
Mm-hmm.
You have to let a tenant know when you're signing a lease with them. You're not trying to be difficult. You're just trying to make them understand these are the rules.
Mm-hmm.
So the rent is due on the 1st normally. It's late after the 5th.
Okay.
If you pay it after the 5th, there's you're normally a 5% late fee, which I will collect.
Okay.
I'll wait another week or two. I'm gonna ask them, if they don't pay me, what happened? Now, I do a lot of rentals in Trenton.
Okay.
These are not high income people.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that life happens to everybody.
Okay.
I am not heartless.
Mm-hmm.
If I have a tenant who I've had for a long time, and they usually pay on time, and they're good tenants, and they call me up, and they say, Rick, listen, I had this situation, it's gonna be a week late, or 10 days late, I'll pay you on this date. Okay, fine. I put it in my calendar, they pay me, we're golden.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to evict people.
Right.
Okay, I don't want to put people out on the street. It's not pleasant for them, it's not pleasant for me, and it's expensive.
Okay.
Because once they're out, then I have to get the city in there to do a CO, and I may have a vacancy for a month or two. I don't want to do evictions. Mm-hmm. Now, what happens sometimes is that they're late, and I reach out to them, and they tell me, well, I'll have it next week, and they don't. Mm-hmm. Or, in this case, I gave her too much leeway because she has a little baby,
Okay.
and I don't want to, I'm a compassionate person, but we're starting back in June.
Okay.
Now, she is,
Wow.
Section 8 pays part of her rent,
Okay.
but she pays more than half of it.
Okay.
She pays me over $600 a month of the total rent. She did not pay in June. In July, she paid me a little bit, promising me. In August, she paid me a little bit, and I said, the end of August is it. Mm-hmm. Oh, I promise you, I'm going to have the full rent by August 30th. Of course, she didn't. Mm-hmm. And now it's September. And she owes me over $1,600. And then, of course, she calls me the other day that I had to file for eviction. What am I going to do?
Right. Right.
One of my favorite expressions, I'm reminded all the time, the best way to help the poor is not to become one of them. And I'm a compassionate person, mm-hmm. I get it, but I'm not a nonprofit.
Okay.
I'm running a business.
That's fair.
Right?
Right.
This is the way I put bread and butter on the table.
Mm-hmm.
I'm running a business. And I'm compassionate until you start playing me. Mm-hmm. And making me promises that you don't keep and ignoring me. Mm-hmm. So I filed for eviction. So she actually had the nerve to call me the other day, said she got the papers from the court, and she's angry at me, because for evicting her. Well, okay, sorry. Mm-hmm. But so the way it works in court, first of all, she's Section 8, mm-hmm. which means that if she's evicted, she loses her Section 8 voucher. She can't go somewhere else with Section 8, so it's really hard on her. And you know what, John? I'm sure that she's not spending the money in Atlantic City.
Right.
Right? She really doesn't have it. I have no doubt about it.
Right.
What am I supposed to do? Let her stay there for free?
Yeah.
Each month that goes by, she owes me more and more money. She'll never catch up.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
And keeping the security deposit still won't cover everything she's going to owe me. And then when she leaves, I got to paint and carpet and blah, blah, blah. I'm just hoping she doesn't do damage to the place on the way out.
Right.
So you go to court. Mm-hmm. And luckily I haven't done many evictions, maybe 4 in 25 years.
Okay.
Most of my tenants, and I like Section 8. Mm-hmm. Some people, they're going to destroy the place. No. Mm-hmm. I find that just because someone is lower income doesn't mean they're irresponsible.
Right. Okay, that's fair.
And this is really my first Section 8 eviction.
Wow.
My other ones were not Section 8. Mm-hmm. And Section 8 people, you give them a nice place to live in a nice neighborhood where they feel they're safe, their children are safe. they want to do the right thing because they know if they don't, they could lose their voucher.
Right.
So when you go to court, the eviction court, it's really very simple.
Mm-hmm.
The judge says, I don't want to hear any stories. This is not the place for stories.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't say, well, I didn't pay the rent because he didn't make this repair. That's a different hearing. That's a habitability hearing.
Okay.
This is tenant court. You either have the rent or you do not. So the way it works is, if the landlord or a representative of the landlord, i.e. their attorney, is present,
Mm-hmm.
and the tenant or representative is present, you go out in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't fight it out, but you go out in the hallway and you see if you can work it out.
Okay.
You don't. The landlord does not have to take partial payment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They can work it out, but they don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, I'm not going to accept partial payment because the same thing is going to keep happening.
Right.
Either I may not even go. My landlord will be there. She'll either have the full rent, which by that time will be about $2,300. She won't have it.
Mm-hmm.
If she does it, then within 10 days or so, she's going to be out. The sheriff will be out the door.
Okay.
Very sad. I'm not standing there and jumping up and down in joy. Very sad. But I really don't. I'm running a business. I don't have a choice in the matter unless I too want to be among the poor, which I don't.
Right.
I was there once.
Right.
I'm not going back.
Right. Right.
Okay, so that's the way it is with evictions. Sad, you try to avoid it,
Mm-hmm.
but at a certain point, they're taking advantage of you.
Is there any way that you could remove the tenant without evicting them?
No, you can't do what's called a self-help eviction,
Okay.
like turn the power off or just lock them out.
Oh,
You get
okay.
in trouble for that. That's called a self-help eviction. You can't do it. You
Okay.
got to go through the judicial system, take them to court. And again, it's really easy for evicting a tenant for non-payment of rent.
Mm-hmm.
The judge says no stories.
Mm-hmm.
You either have the money or you don't. Go out in the hallway. If you can work it out, great. If not, goodbye. That's the way it is.
Wow. Wow. Well, so it's a tough lesson to learn.
It is, and I understand. And she has I understand why she's not paying the rent.
Mm-hmm.
There was a death, and I think that person was helping pay part of the rent.
Okay.
But again, I can't let her live there basically for free.
Right.
I can't take a loss every month, and eventually, I mean, in October, she owed me $2,300.
So, yeah, she put herself in a hole, and it's going to be almost impossible to catch up.
Right.
Basically.
So, you know, she wants to call social services, and social services wants to give me a call and say, we'll pay for it. Beautiful. I don't want to evict her,
Right.
but I can't. I have no choice.
Right.
How long can you let her go?
Not for too long, or you'll be
I'll be among
getting
her
evicted
again.
yourself.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So, well, thanks for that.
Okay.
Appreciate it. So, that's some good advice for you guys if you're dealing with an eviction, or maybe you're at that point where you have to get ready to evict a tenant, which is an unfortunate situation,
It
but
is unfortunate.
reality of the business.
Mhm.
You know. So.
Now, having said that, there were, a couple of years ago, I did an eviction.
Mhm.
I've done two of them where I was a very joyous person.
Okay. All right.
In fact, in both cases, normally
Mhm.
the tenant's going to leave before the sheriff comes to do the lockout because they know when the lockout date is.
Okay.
So they'll leave beforehand. But in both instances, when I went to the apartment before, like a day or two before, and I saw they were gone,
Mhm.
I was, because they were such difficult people,
Mhm.
that I was very glad to see them gone.
Mhm.
And in either case were they Section 8.
Okay.
They were just lowlifes.
Okay. Well, all right. Sometimes you come across them.
Sometimes you do.